Okay. Right. Secondary backup machine recording. That's working. Okay. And then we will share screen so I can show you the presentation. Okay. All right. Okay. Justin, if you want to talk to me, just say yes to being a panelist there. Okay. Otherwise, you can just hang out and attend to your room. So, whatever you're comfortable with.
Hello. Hi, David.
Hi. Yeah. Welcome.
Hi.
You want to switch your video on?
I'll try.
Yeah, you just say yes to being a panelist. That will pop up there, and then you'll be switched to the panelist room where you can switch the video on. That's it. Okay. All right. Okay, let's get underway. So just keep an eye out for anyone else who turns up late. It's fine. And in the chat window up as well, wherever that's gone and disappeared. Here it is. Okay. So welcome to Escaping from the Matrix with Divine Healing. I'm Nicolas, David, Ngan of the Center for Conscious Ascension. So I'll read out the little spiel at the front because a lot of people will see this video cold. So, are you stuck in your corporate 3D job? Put your hand up if you are. Anyone stuck in the corporate job? You guys have escaped already, maybe. Oh, no, a few of you. Okay, thanks for being honest. Emotionally disconnected from it. Perhaps sitting on a mountain of salt. I know it's pretty graphic, but that's how I felt when I was in the corporate world. After you climb the corporate ladder, desperately looking for a way out. And feeling that there's something special you need to do out in the world that will actually make a difference rather than just making money for someone else. But you can't rely on the universe to give you the next steps to achieve this. So this group Divine Healing webinar is to help you manifest and focus on starting to create that new reality for you to make a difference in the world, that new life, and to overcome, most importantly, the fear of stepping into the life you truly desire, especially in this time of the Great Awakening that we're going through. So you can quicken the process of safely letting go, so you can escape from the corporate matrix and open to a new structure in life and the flow of abundance in order to deliver your gift of service to the world. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on that. So I want to find out what brought you guys here that enables me to focus the intention of the webinar. So the intention is that's the general direction we're going to go in, but this is your webinar. So if you could say where you're from, what brought you here, and if you're in a 3D job, just briefly what that's about and any clarity you have on where you really want to go with your life in terms of making a difference on Earth, rather than just making money for someone else. And then that'll collectively set our group intention, and that'll guide me in the way we run the webinar, because this can go in all sorts of different ways, this thing. Okay. So yeah, if you guys can just go on mute while we're not talking, otherwise we get background noise, because Zoom's very sensitive. Thanks, Justin. So I'll say why I'm here. So about 25 years ago, 26, how long ago? 26 years ago now, I was sitting in a glass tower in the city in London, working for a global satellite communication business, wearing a suit. And I was in my 30s. And it was a very good job for a long time. Then things didn't work so well for our department. I was on the commercial side of this business, working out what to sell to pay for these very expensive satellites we had in orbit. It was a very interesting job, but it got to the point where the energy dropped out. And I was wondering, well, what am I doing here? This is not satisfying anymore. And so with a clear blue sky, like what it is today almost here, I live just outside London. And this big 200-foot cloud flew by my office. The only cloud in the sky, and it was shaped like an angel. It's almost like it was waving at me. And when I saw that, I knew it's time to leave this job, which I really loved for 7 years. And that was scary. But I knew the end, I could feel it the past 6, 12 months that this job was winding down in terms of the opportunities our financial department had. So I started planning my escape, how to escape from this corporate matrix, because I knew there was something special for me to do. And I've been doing this sort of work in the weekends. It was just like a hobby. And I realized I needed to turn this into a full-time way of earning a living, because I got to the point where I couldn't do this anymore. So yeah, I'm still in business, 25 years on, touch and go in the initial years, but I made my escape. And it was terrifying, to be honest. It was terrifying for the first couple of years because I had no idea what I was doing. But I figured it out eventually, the hard way, and went from having a small private session practice in London that grew to all of England, then Europe, then North America, and now it's the world. And then that grew into a teaching business, practitioner teaching business. So I know it's possible to do that. I've learned a lot about how to do that. So this webinar is about finding out where you are, setting intention, and getting the steps underway. I mean, you're probably all in different places, which is why in this process, which is why you were drawn to this. So I want to hear what those are, and then we can pitch it accordingly. So for those of you who are brave enough to come on the video, just wave at me like this so I see it. I'm a man, I can't actually see things. Don't give me dainty lady waves because I won't see it. It's like your man can't see the butter in the fridge, even though it's right in front of him. Because it's not moving. If it's not moving, we can't hunt and kill it. Okay, so it must move for a man. Okay, so our brains are built, just so you know. We're not doing it to annoy you, just that we can't see very small things. And you guys who are in the interview room, you can just switch on the mic and talk to me as well, or put it in the chat, and I'll read it out. I'm just going to change the chat to everyone. Okay, so that's why I'm here. So I want to find out why you guys are here. And I engage the energy of where we're going with this. So who would like to go first? I've got some familiar faces from yesterday as well. So welcome back, Misha and Caroline. Who would like to go first? So this is your webinar. Justin, good. Man goes first. Great. Go for it.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. Where should I start? I don't really know where to start, but basically, I wouldn't say I'm not in a corporate job at the moment, but I'm in a job, I guess, that pays the bills, but doesn't fulfill me and is not my sole purpose or my purpose, right? I know that. So I have some awareness around that because I've been aware of your work. I think for a few years now, quite a few years actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was working in the, let's call it the corporate world, probably 8 years ago now. I left that job and I kind of swore to never go back to the 9 to 5 again after that. I sort of had a spiritual awakening. And that was after a long-term relationship where that ended, basically, sent me into a deep depression and anxiety. But that was actually the catalyst for my spiritual kind of journey. And I started lots of self-healing. And cut a long story short, I discovered that, okay, I felt like I found my purpose and I was here to be a coach, a teacher, and a healer. And I started that, and I was a one-to-one coach. I ran support groups, but then, and it was okay. I had my part-time job, and I was doing that on the side, trying to build my business full-time. But if anyone does any coaching, maybe they're aware of this. It was kind of like there was a lot of sabotage coming up, imposter syndrome, lots of fears, overwhelm, and trying to transition and make that full-time I found very challenging. And yeah, even though I started it, but I wasn't able to make that a full-time business and income. Not enough for me to leave my day job anyway. And then in just before, in I think COVID in 2020, I met a lady, and my whole world basically got turned upside down. It was a really strong soul contact with this other woman. You could call it twin flame, or I don't know what, catalyst or twin flame. I'm not going to attach to that label, but it has been immensely challenging since then, and I haven't been able to coach. So it's been about 2 years, I think, since then. And I'm starting to get the juice back again. So that's a little bit about me and where I'm at the moment. I'm full-time in a job which pays the bills, is not challenging intellectually, but it kind of serves me at the moment. But I know it's not my sole purpose and what I'm here to do. But I still have confusion around the sole kind of purpose. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but now I'm not so sure.
Thank you, Justin. Sorry, I left my phone on, guys. Let's make sure it's completely off. Sound. Okay. All right. Who's next? Who would like to share next? Carolyn, welcome back.
Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everybody. Okay, well, I'm here because I have escaped from the Matrix effectively. So it's not really, I'm retired. I'm a grandmother now. So I don't really have any sort of work issues that I need to escape from. But I just feel that I really just want to be of service. That's all I care about. I just want to be able to, because I've had loads of issues that I've had to really, lots of demons I've had to deal with. And so I just feel like I want to be able to help other people. So because you say that the divine healing goes really well hand in hand with the soul contract work, that's why I'm here, really, because I'm just super interested in being able to help other people. That's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Straight to the point. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Maria, nice to see you again. What brought you here?
Well, not a corporate job, matrix.
I know that.
I tried actually to get there years ago, but never managed. But to me, it's the matrix of rented accommodation in Scotland. Because I'm just not able, since I moved here, my creativity has gone downhill, and I'm just facing challenges with myself and how I feel, and survival challenges really in this home for over a year, trying to move, which is not easy, and getting into despair now and then because I'm not even able to write. And I'm trying to keep my human design and soul contract and gene keys alive, but just feeling I just have enough energy just to get on with my life and deal with all the challenges.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here.
All right.
I would love to be out of that matrix. It's also a financial matrix, of course, because I'm on state pension credit and housing benefit. And this is the only part of the country, apart from London, that you actually get full housing benefit. It's everywhere else, and I had to add the money and yeah. So it's but it's the home matrix.
Got it. Okay.
Lovely to see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next? Melissa, nice to see you again. Still a sunny day in Colorado.
Yes, it is. Sorry. Yeah, we had a lot of wind yesterday, so it was a lot of cleanup this morning I had to do. It just kind of takes all the leaves and the pine needles down, and it's kind of messy. But yes, so good to see you today. I'm here again because, you know, I do want to dive more into this divine healing. Just, you know, like yesterday, I think you said, just, you know, becoming a light worker and being able to help other people. I just really feel like I'm being drawn to that. So I feel like learning more. I signed up for the training for October.
Yeah, saw that. Thank you.
So I'm really excited to get started on this path.
Yep, it's quite a journey. Welcome
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Misha, welcome back. Do you want to introduce what you want to work on today, where you are and where you want to go?
I want to be unstuck. I feel like I'm very stuck where
Yes.
I'm at.
Yep.
I know my sole purpose is to teach and to help heal due to the fact that all of the trauma stuff that I've been through. So I'm just trying to figure out the direction, like where to start at.
Okay.
I just feel like I'm all over the place right now.
Okay. All right, see what we can do. All right. Anyone in the attendee room want to speak? Switch your mic on and just introduce why you're here. And we can start. Otherwise, we'll start. Okay, Mindy.
Hi guys. Yes. I'm still in the corporate world and I'm just trying to transition into really what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yep.
I know I'm supposed to be doing more than what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
And it's just making that transition into what I'm supposed to really be doing.
Yep. Okay. All right. Anybody else in the attendee room want to share what they need from this? Purely optional. It just sets the intention, or we'll continue. No? Okay. So we're all born into the Matrix. I presume, has everyone seen the film? Hand up, seeing the film? Okay. So that's about as close as it gets to what's really going on. Okay, it's a good metaphor for what's going on. We're all programmed by the Matrix to be a certain way, and we don't question it because it's always been there. So we're conditioned to be slaves in the Matrix. We don't even know it in terms of programmed to be productive for the system. Okay, and the system's needed of some sort. But we, as you've seen in the past 3.5 years, as massive changes are happening where the Matrix, as we know it, is being dismantled rapidly by the positive. This dark and light are fighting it out in the world at the moment to dismantle the Matrix and create a better world. And the most important thing about escaping from the Matrix is to recognize how programmed we've become, or brainwashed, using a stronger term. We get programmed to believe certain things which we accept are real. And then as we grow older, we realize, well, actually, no, that's actually true. So escaping from the Matrix requires a complete change of mindset. Okay. And knowing that you've been programmed as part of being human. And the point of that is to break free of that programming. Break free of the slave mindset and to move into sovereignty, which the Matrix doesn't want us to do, which is why the corporate world is so harsh. It's a patriarchal system designed to be very harsh so that we will obey, we'll do as we're told. Okay. And escaping from the Matrix into your true soul purpose requires sovereignty at all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and to trust your heart, trust what we call the spiritual signature, the flow of your soul, which has brought you here today. That's what opens your heart in the moment. Where we follow the spiritual signature, we don't follow a program anymore, because you've all got here because for some very good reason, it's time to escape from the life you are currently in, that you've been programmed to be in, into a new, more expansive life of service in some form. And it can be a bit scary, or really scary. It's normal because it's the unknown. And you can't learn how to do this in school because they're not going to teach you that or work or anywhere like that. So it's about learning to trust that there actually is a plan. There is a plan for transitioning for each and every one of you. And that plan is what we call the visionary template. I'm going to draw a picture. Well, actually, I'll just call it my diagram. I'll show you this. Okay. So it's going to move these webcams out of webcams a little bit so I can see them. Okay. I think you guys can, yeah, you guys are just checking out the computer. You can see the screen. So you are here in the third dimension. This is the densified earth plane where everything seems solid. We came from here, from source, in the 12th dimension. And source here, God in the spiritual sense, all that is, wanted to know itself more. I mean, it spent a lot of time thinking about it, then it realized thinking about it's not going to do it. I need to go and feel and experience myself in a myriad, infinite, myriad number of ways. So what it did is it densified itself gradually in an out-breath through the dimensions, 11th, 10th, 9th, the 5th dimension. This is the unity consciousness. This is part, and then 4th dimension, the astral plane, then down to the 3rd dimension where everything seems solid. And then this flesh is densified light. So that we got to the point that the spark of source in us, which we all have, called the soul, got as far away from God as possible. And this is called the game of separation from spirit. And it created us through our soul contract, for those of you familiar with it. The vibrations of our name create our reality in each moment through the law of attraction. And so it created each of us. We're each unique personality constructs or avatars, unique in this lifetime, determined by our soul contract. And that part of us forgot that we came from here. Initially, it's programmed to think this is all there is. There's this limited, highly dysfunctional 3rd dimension. And this is it. And when I die, I'll just be dust, and that's it. And we forget the true spiritual nature of who we are. That's how far away from God we got. So the mission ultimately is to wake up, become conscious, to clear your avatar, your ego personality of all the programming in your soul contract, all the ego programs, which I'll say it, can torture us a lot of the time, especially when we're younger, to break free and to cut a pathway back to source. And that process is called ascension. To progressively move our way through the dimensions back to source so we can take all that experience that the spark of the divine, the spark of source in us had, this visceral, heavy, strong, emotional stuff we go through, transmute our karma and get back to source and consciousness, get back home to God. Okay? That's the purpose of life, is to feel as separate as possible, then journey back. And we go through many incarnations doing this. So escaping from the matrix requires several things. It requires understanding, first of all, what is your personality construct and how is it being programmed? So then once you're conscious of that, you can start to break free of it. It requires intention, lots of energy and drive to get back to here. Okay. And each of you has a unique pathway. No two humans do it in the same way. Okay. This is Melissa's pathway. Okay. This is Maria's pathway. Okay. This is Misha's pathway. They're all unique. And you might ask, well, how do I know what my pathway is? How do I do this thing? I ask that a lot. And so this is called following the spiritual signature, following what opens your heart in each moment. And we as light workers make up 1 or 2% of the population. So there's millions of us. And the rest of the population stays asleep as long as possible down here. And our mission is to bring the high frequency of who we are, the higher self, into this body and to radiate this frequency, this high consciousness in our own unique way out into the matrix. Because our job, you were all born to help wake up everyone else. Yeah. Because they can't do it by themselves. And you wake everyone else up by discovering what your true purpose is, what your soul destiny is, and starting to deliver that to the world. That's the mission, people. And so progressively, just by your presence, your higher consciousness, you transmute the lower consciousness of the people around you who are drawn to work with you. Because higher consciousness always transmutes consciousness. And so within your soul, or actually up here, is a thing called the visionary template. So you don't have to work out what you should be doing. You don't have to struggle and search for it or make it up because it already exists. What you do need to do is get clear enough emotionally to access the plan that you designed at this higher level, the higher self part of you, because you exist here all the way back to source, just that your attention at this moment is in this body. So your job is to get clear enough emotionally and energetically to access this visionary template so it grounds through you. And then to tap into the plan that's already written. And as you get clearer emotionally down here, which is why we have divine healing, this source energy this visionary template energy will start to come through, and the plan of what you're here to do will start to come to you. It comes to you in dribs and drabs initially. And as you get clearer emotionally, more comes through. And if you, as you learn to trust your channel, trust your intuition, and you put this into action, then what happens is that, and you get clearer here, and you get clearer in your ego, so therefore your body frequency rises, therefore more of the visionary template comes through. This starts to manifest the true mission here. Okay. And so you can think of the matrix as like a big 3D projection screen. And as you get clearer, you're starting to clean the lens of the ego's projector, and the energy is coming through you, and it's starting to manifest the mission for you. So it's not about making it up or trying to struggle to find it. It's about actually getting out of your own way and allowing it to come to you. Receiving it. Okay, so it's very counterintuitive, especially in North American business culture, where I've had a lot of experience of, is got to chase it down, make it happen, no matter what. Push hard. Okay, crush it. I think you guys say. I think that's a pretty strong term. Okay, it's nothing about crushing anything here. This is about opening up. It's not about crushing your ego either. It's about lovingly dissolving your ego and allowing the template to embody through you. And this is actually how you create the optimal business, particularly relevant for you, Melissa, what you guys are about to do. Allow it to come to you, because this template's designed already. It's designed for each of you. And if you align with this template and you follow it, you will escape from the matrix, because there's a plan. And you're tapping into the entire plan. So it's important not to worry about what's next. Get clear enough so you can receive what's next. Because you're very organized, you just forgot, which is part of coming here. We all have to forget. So we engage with the matrix as if it's real. Because if you didn't forget, you wouldn't take it seriously, therefore you wouldn't get your lessons. And all the lessons, many of them very hard, that we go through, are part of our training so we can deliver our gift of service. We can deliver the actual services or products of the visionary template that we're here to bring to people. Okay, so this is a really sacred process, because when we're aligned to that visionary template, that creates enormous fulfillment, enormous joy in us. Gallup did a poll, I think it was back in the 90s, where it said 87% of people, something like that, or 89% of people who do a normal job are emotionally disconnected from it. They really don't care, just to pay the bills, which is a shocking statistic, which is basically saying pretty much everyone who does a normal job, say a corporate job especially, is not interested. And you spend so much time at work. So we're not doing that at all. We are creating life and work which is joyful, fulfilling, is of service, and hopefully pays the bills as well. Okay. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to dissolve some of the ego here so you can access more of this visionary template. All right. Okay. Any questions on that? I just wanted to give you some philosophical structure, spiritual structure of what we're actually doing. No questions on that? No? How's that sound? Does that sound reasonable proposition, guys? Okay, that's what we do. Okay, so you might say, well, that's all very well, Nicolas, but my ego is tough. It's been giving me a really hard time for a long time. How do I dissolve this thing to access the visionary template? Well, here's how you do it. I'm not saying there's no quick fix here, guys. You've got to do the work. If anyone says in some very long North American website homepage that you can do this in 7 days or 7 weeks or even 7 months, they just try and take your money. Okay, it requires dedication, hard work. People want a quick fix, and quick fixes never work. So I'm just telling you the truth if you haven't already figured that out. So what happens here is that the flame of consciousness, which is your soul, is surrounded by this ego onion created by the soul contract, many, many layers. Okay, many, many layers. And this is what limits us. This is what gets us stuck, say Misha. So we've got to peel this onion in the right order. Okay, layer by layer, got to peel that onion. Okay, and if you peel it in the right order, then you get back to the essence of who you are, the pure love of what the soul is. And so divine healing allows us to peel that onion, because your higher self, the part of you up here, it designed the ego onion as part of your training to see if you could overcome it. Therefore, it built it, therefore it knows how to dismantle it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to align to the higher self and peel a layer of your ego onion. That's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to dive into the mud of our emotional separation, all the stuff that we don't like to feel, or the ego doesn't like to feel, and bring consciousness to it. And as we do that and bring consciousness to it, we can then transmute it into lotuses. So we're growing lotuses out of mud, beautiful things, beautiful gifts to share with the world. So we're not looking at the karmic patterns as, well, this is really bad and wrong, and I need to push that away. No, we're going to turn to the opposite of that. We're going to engage with it. But the ego doesn't like pain. So it doesn't want to actually overcome its 3 primary separation patterns because it's painful. And they are the following. When you are born, when you pop out of your mum, you feel there's three primary programs are triggered. Feelings of being abandoned by God because you got dumped on this 3rd rock from the sun. You don't feel worthy to be loved by God because we got kicked out of heaven and we're in this body now. And we don't trust God as a result as well. So each of our egos is built from some combination of these 3 programs in a unique way. And that is described in the soul contract. So what happens as these ego programs come up? Quite a lot, actually. Most people here judge the programs karmic patterns, the stuff we don't like, as being and feel bad about it. No, sorry, most people go into complete avoidance. Start with this one. They go into complete avoidance. They numb out, watch Netflix, smoke, TV, drugs, overwork. So life gets very stuck. And those who are a bit more aware start to feel the stuff, or maybe it's unavoidable, so they judge it as being bad, and therefore it gets stronger. That's the third way, which is what we're going to do. This is about resonating and owning whatever programs are running and feeling them, bringing feeling consciousness to it, because that's how we change it. And if we also find out the origin, where that comes from, okay, we can target a program. We can start to clear them. The ego is not as tough as it makes out. It's just an illusion that's really strong. Okay, it makes a lot of noise. So how do we do that? How do we feel the stuff? Here's what we do. What we do is this. We take the willingness, desire, and courage to grow. That's a major requirement for healing. And this is our issue. It could be unworthiness to be loved. And we take our intention, our feeling consciousness, and we feel a particular issue in our bodies. And this, the blue stuff is our feeling consciousness, to the point where we can feel as much as possible, preferably all of it. Because what you feel, you can heal. So it's sort of counterintuitive. Because when we can feel the stuff, we can clear it. But the ego is onto us, and it's not keen on that idea. So what it does is it puts this layer of turquoise emotional icing around this red dot, so we don't feel the stuff. So, because what you can't feel, you can't heal. So what we need to do is we need to gently, with love, break through. We need to break through this defense mechanism of the ego. It's very powerful when you do it as a group, which is what we're going to do today, and bring our consciousness to feel what's in the way here. This is the core principle of divine healing. So you bring your feeling consciousness to it, then you ask the higher self, which has guided you to the next layer of the onion to work on. When you've brought feeling consciousness to it, you then command the higher self. We call them command codes in divine healing. Say, higher self, please remove this particular program. Then it will be gone, provided you've felt enough of it. That's the principle of the whole thing. The rest is detail after that. Okay. So you're commanding the universe, which is why divine healing is very empowering, to change something you brought consciousness to. And then that layer will be gone. And then we move to the next layer of the onion when we're ready. And the soul will trigger different layers at the right time. Okay. Just going to have a little drink here. So this is the most important diagram of all today. This is what we do when we escape from the matrix. When we want to escape from the path of suffering, which is the 3D matrix, we want to get to the path of getting into your flow, getting to the flow of the spiritual signature. So our little ego here thinks it knows everything when actually it knows nothing really. Okay, it's just feels self-important, because the ego is not you, it's just the personality construct we use to interface with reality in the matrix. We need to grow in consciousness, connect to the vastness of spirit. Because the little ego is following the left brain, it's doing all these things, what it thinks it should do, what it's programmed to do with the left masculine left brain. And we are moving over to here to follow the spiritual signature. To follow. And each moment is one right action which opens your heart. And that is the soul telling you through sensation, what is the next right action? What should I do next? Okay. And initially, we converge on it. And once now you have this knowledge, You'll be conscious at the moment of convergence, then we go unconscious, and eventually we gradually merge with this till we're actually flowing along that spiritual signature in each moment, doing the next right action. Because when we do the next right action, which is, and we've been guided to do that by the higher self, life becomes magical. Things just open and flow compared to the great struggle, the enormous struggle of the path of suffering just by doing what the left brain wants to do. Okay. So, any questions so far? So I'm sort of laying out the landscape, what we're doing here. Which brave, if you've got a question, put your hand up. Everyone okay with that? Okay, good. So we're going to just have a direct experience of this now using divine healing. We want that one. So what I want you guys to do is close your eyes. And I want you to focus. If you have clarity on what your gift of service is, or soul destiny, or life purpose, I want you to focus on that. You may not. And it's okay. It depends where you are, where you are. Everyone goes at this at their own speed. You're not lagging behind. It's not too late. You're at your own speed. Focus on as much as you know about what this gift of service is. And if you're not clear what that is, which I heard some of you say, you just knew there's something special here to do, just focus on having complete clarity on what your gift of service is, what your soul destiny is. All right? So that's the first step. You've got to work out where you find the end in mind. Where do you actually want to go? All right? And I'd like you to lean back off the vertical so you're more in the feminine, okay? And breathe through your mouth, because that brings you into the body. The ego will naturally want to breathe through the nose so you don't feel stuff, because you feel stuff, then you become a hazard to the ego, because it means if you feel stuff, you may decide, oh, actually, I want to go and clear this. And the ego doesn't want you to do that. All right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to focus your creative energy, because we humans are very powerful individually, but even more powerful collectively. Focus your intention on as if your gift of service or soul destiny is already manifested. Don't worry about the details of how to get there, because remember, you are the creator. We are the creator creating. That's what our purpose of our lives is. To be the creator, having a direct visceral experience of creating. So focus on it as if it's already done. As if the business is set up, you're delivering your service, it's working emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. And if you haven't quite got that far, focus on just having clarity, that eureka moment. Okay, I've got it. I've got what I'm here to do. Because when we focus on where we want to go, the ego's going to go, oh no, Misha, I don't want to do that. I want to stop you. So all those programs, which are hidden, usually in the subconscious, are going to come up. And we're going to ambush them as they come up. As you start to feel them, because you're focusing on where you want to go, and we know the ego doesn't want you to do that, as they come up, we're going to clear them. Well, you're going to clear them, actually. That's what we're going to do with divine healing. So you've got a little more clarity on what it is you're here to do, or getting further down the road of manifesting it, if you're really clear what you want to do. So breathing through the mouth is very important. So I need you guys to open your mouths a little more. I want you to, the more you can feel what's coming up in your body, the more powerful this is going to be. So what the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to clear this interference on the chart, okay, which just sits at the bottom of the astral plane. There are 12 octaves in each dimension. And the lower end of the astral plane, there is the lower octaves, there's this big, thick layer of energy interference, all sorts of beings and entities and stuff, which are blocking our connection to our higher self. So we're going to clear some of those so we can access much more of our higher self and access more of the visionary template. So I'm going to use the Divine Healing Manual, which we'll show you a bit of later, to do that. I'm going to do it quietly. Okay. And I want you just to be present with what comes up in your body as we do this. Just be present. Okay. Because the more present you are, the more powerful the clearing will be. So first off, we're going to clear earthbound souls. These are beings who've left a physical body, a bit like Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost. And they are trying to hang out with you because you have a similar set of karmic patterns that their host body had. Okay, so we want to get rid of these guys, these hitchhikers, because they are pulling on your energy. So here we go. I'll be doing this quietly. I want you just to be present with the body. Just feel what comes up. Don't look for it, let it come to you. Feel the energy shift as those beings leave. Feel gratitude for the angels who have helped you do that. So we're sort of degunking you, really. Because these guys see you as a food system. They want to keep you in your emotional pain because they feed off that energy. Now we're going to release extraterrestrial presences. Okay, these are nothing to worry about. These are beings who are just hanging out. They're really interested in our wide range of strong polarized emotions because many of them have lost in their emotional body because they've been very technological. And they need that to ascend back to God. Because you need love in your heart to ascend back to God. So we're going to clear these extraterrestrial beings now. Because the very act of observing us means they change what they're observing. It's relativity. With our left, now we're going to remove discard entities and attachments, but like the sort of green gooey guys you see in Ghostbusters, the first movie. They're very real, these things, just that you can't see them most of the time. Here we go. So you may feel these leave your body, your energy, the surface of your skin. You may feel like a pop in your ears. You might want to yawn. That's fine. These guys have been feeding off your energy system. We're going to get rid of all the hitchhikers. We're having Archangel Michael take these guys to the light now. What do you want? I want to yawn after that. A lot of fatigue's released when you clear these sort of beings. Okay. Now, staying focused on delivering your spiritual gift, whatever that is, or getting clarity on it, different emotions are going to come up. I want you to remember to open your mouth, keep breathing into that the feeling in your body as you focus and you feel in your heart as if it's already done. Me yawn again. Breathe into it. I want you to bring feeling consciousness to it. Just feel whatever program is coming up. It could be unworthiness, it could be fear, it could be anything. Just be present with it. That's the main thing. You're aware of the program without going into a story. This is how we work with divine healing. Feeling comes first. We're going to use what's called a main low frequency program chart and divine healing on this. Become aware of where this came from, did it come from childhood? You may become aware of it, and it's okay if you're not all fully aware. Where did this thing come from? It could be a past life. Let yourself open to all aspects of this feeling. Whatever it is. Just accept it unconditionally for what it is. And let yourself open to all aspects of the feeling. I'm aware of the ego's attachment to hanging on to this thing. And all feelings of being bad for having it. And all judgment around it. So feelings of being bad for having it and all judgment, that's actually what holds it. And we just accept it for what it is, which is more tricky than you can imagine to do. Let's go. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So if you open your eyes gently, I've got the main low frequency program chart from Divine Healing Level 1 on the manual opened up here. And you've already got a sense of what your program is because you can feel it. And we're going to do this command code together to clear this. So I already aligned you before we started to the higher self. So stay breathing into that feeling. We're going to say this command code in bite-sized chunks. So these aren't just words. You are a spark of the divine. You are God in the spiritual sense, commanding the universe to do something. When you come from that place, it will start to happen. So microphone's on, so we can hear each other. Okay, it's more powerful when you can hear each other with us. Okay. Giving you attendees, you guys, put the mics on if you're up for it, because the more we can hear each other, the more powerful it is. It's entirely up to you. Okay. Thanks, Mindy. I'm going to say this in bite-sized chunks. So when you say this, you've got to mean it. So it's not words for the mental body to rattle off. You got to mean it. So you say it as if you're speaking to a wayward child, and you've got to say it in a commanding manner. We are Saint Germain.
We are Saint
We are
Germain.
Saint Germain.
We are Saint Germain.
To pour the purple flame
Toward
To pour the purple flame
through the aura and subtle bodies.
through the aura and subtle
the
bodies.
aura and subtle bodies.
To burn away all low frequency energies.
to
To
burn
burn
away
Burn
away
away all
all
low
frequency
frequencies
energies
that we have discovered,
that we have
we have
that we have
discovered,
discovered,
so that new higher level vibrations
A new
A new high level
high level
vibration
vibration
can be accessed, accepted, and encoded.
Can
can
be
be
can be
accessed,
accessed, accepted,
accepted
and
and
encoded.
encoded.
We pause there. You gotta let the universe go off and do its thing. You can't rush the stuff. Saint Germain and higher self,
Saint Germain and higher
Saint
self.
Germain
Saint Germain
higher
and higher
self,
self.
please burn out in one go.
Please
Please
burn
burn
please
out
burn
in one
out
go.
in one go.
100% the core issue
100%
100% the core
100% the
issue
core issue
through all levels and dimensions.
through all
for all
levels.
levels
through
and
all levels
dimensions.
and dimensions.
100% the original cause
100%
100% the original
100% the original cause
through all levels and dimensions.
through levels and
through
dimensions.
all
and
levels and
dimensions.
dimensions.
100% the source of its power
100%
100% the source of its
100% the
power
source of its power
through all levels and dimensions.
through all
through all
levels.
levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
100% all energy attached
100% all energy
100% all
attached
any attached
through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels.
through all levels and
levels
dimensions.
and dimensions.
100% all of its effects
100%
100% all of its
100%
effects
of its effects
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels.
through
all
all
levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
dimensions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just feel that shift. You may find you want to yawn, your vision might change.
Oh,
So that low frequency program's gone because you could feel it. You might feel quite tired because a lot of energy is released when you release programming. Okay. So staying focused now. Okay. Staying focused now on your gift of service you're delivering to the world. Okay. And or clarity on what that gift of service is if you haven't quite got to it yet. We're going to use this past life chart. This is actually a past life death chart, but we're not going to use the death. We're just going to use traumatic lifetimes. And change this guy here, traumatic death to traumatic lifetimes. We're going to use that. We're going to want to become aware of any traumatic lifetimes which are blocking the manifestation of your gift of service. Some of you may have been wise women, witches, wizards, medicine women, or men in the past and got persecuted for that. Therefore, we have a fear of death or fear of persecution that comes up, which holds us back from manifesting our mission. 80% of what we deal with is past life driven. So I want you to become aware with your intention of anything holding you back from manifesting your gift of service, okay? Or at least getting clear what that gift is. Close your eyes and just feel that. And the way you better tell that past life file's been activated is if you have your eyes closed and look in your mind's eye, you'll see little strands of white light going back behind you into the time-space continuum. Okay, and it's going back to those lifetimes, and those files are going to flip open for you to clear now, because the soul wants you to get clear of this. Okay, so just breathe into it, become aware of what they are. Okay. Repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
Higher self.
Myself,
Please
please
clear,
clear,
heal,
heal and
integrate.
heal, everything.
All these files and memories,
all
All
these
these
files
All
and
these
memories,
files and memories,
including all cellular memories,
including
including all cellular memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
this
the
DNA.
the
DNA,
DNA, and the subatomic levels.
I am now ready to heal
I am now ready.
I am now ready to
I am
heal
now ready to heal
all traumatic lifetimes
all traumatic
all
life,
all
traumatic
traumatic
lifetimes
lifetimes
that are blocking the manifestation
that are blocking the
Blocking the
Blocking
manifestation
of my gift of service to humanity
of
my
my
gift
of
of
my
service
gift
to
of service
humanity.
to humanity
at all levels and dimensions,
at all levels
at
At
all
all levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
dimensions,
all time frames,
all time
All time
frames,
all
frames,
time
realities,
frames,
realities,
realities
and
realities,
and universe.
and universe.
dimensions.
Okay, so that's quite a mouthful. So we got to pause and let higher self get on with it. We don't stack a lot of command codes together. We wait, and the energy will seem sort of quite busy for a while. It's still busy, and then it'll ease off, and then we'll do the next command code. I'm feeling a little woozy from that one. Okay, next one. I command that any soul fragments
I
Command that any
I
soul
command that
fragments
any soul fragments
held with these memories
held
Held
with
with
these
held with
held
memories
with
these
these
memories
memories
are now returned
are now
are
now
returned
now
returned
returned
to me fully whole and intact
to me
to
fully
me
me
fully
fully whole
whole
and intact
and intact
as appropriate.
as
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 appropriate.
as
appropriate.
appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I
I
welcome
welcome
I
these soul
welcome
fragments
these soul
back.
fragments back.
Okay, so we pause. We let that's the bits of us that got shattered, the sensitive parts, by all the stuff we've been dealing with this lifetime. So we've got to bring them all back so we become more whole. This is the reason for the statement. People, someone's not all there. It's because part of them has broken off, gone elsewhere. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I
I
command
command that
I
the whole
command that the
holographic
whole
matrix
holographic matrix
matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels,
be
be
prepared
prepared through all layers
prepared
and
through all
levels,
layers and levels
then brought into full alignment,
and brought into
embodied
and brought
into full
into full
alignment,
alignment,
integration,
integration
and
integration,
balance
and
and
balance.
and
balance,
balance
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow
to allow
to allow
for
for wholeness
wholeness
to
to
emerge.
emerge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Just embrace the shift there. Okay, so we cleared a whole bunch of past life stuff there. And so we've done quite a lot of strong clearing work there. So the we've been dismantling the ego with a laser scalpel, which is what divine healing's like. Okay. And sometimes it can feel you can't remember what we just did because it's so clean, the removal, it's just gone. So what we do then is we infuse energetic nutrition in this case. It's a pure frequency. It's going to come in through your crown chakra and go down your central column. And it's going to radiate out and fill your entire body just to integrate the strength of that. So we have 4 types of nutrition in divine healing level 1. Okay, we have 5 levels altogether, but we start at the beginning. We have amino acids, essential fatty acids, then we have minerals and vitamins here. So your higher self knows exactly what to pick. So we're going to do something called number mapping. So rather than where you're going to close your eyes, and I'm going to say to you, pick a number 1 to 4. In this case, instead of A to D, we have 1 to 4 because numbers are easier. Whatever number comes through will come from your higher self. That'll be the number we're going to use. So close your eyes and just do as I say. Pick a number 1 to 4 and write that down. First number is the correct number. Anything after that is just the ego or interference messing with you. All right. For those of you got 1, which is A, which is the amino acids. Okay. Close your eyes again. And pick a number 1 to 25 and write that down. You don't have to understand what they do either. There's a higher self guiding you here. Those who got 2, which is essential fatty acids, pick a number 1 to 19 and write that down. I got 7. I've got this formic acid here. Those of you who got a 3, you got minerals. Close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 21. Write that down. Those of you who got 4, which are vitamins, pick a number 1 to 26 and write that down. Some of these things are almost unpronounceable. So the high self is guiding you. You don't have to know what everything means. You don't even have to be able to pronounce it properly. It still works. Okay, and we're going to do this command code together. So repeat after me. Higher self, please encode these nutrients.
Higher self,
Higher
please.
self,
Higher
please
self,
encode
please
these
encode these
nutrients.
nutrients
Please encode these nutrients
In the perfect balance
In the
in
perfect
the
balance
perfect balance
In the perfect balance
that is required,
that is required,
that's required.
and clear and align all pathways
and
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 clear
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 and aligned
all
all
align all
pathways.
pathways
for maximum assimilation,
for
for
maximum
for
Maximum
maximum assimilation,
absorption,
absorption
absorption,
and utilization.
and
and
utilization.
and utilization.
So close your eyes and let that frequency coming from above you come down the central column and radiate out all directions. Just help you integrate the strong work you've done so far today. Your body might want to move, might want to yawn. I'm feeling a bit more integrated now. Okay. And when you're ready, open your eyes. You might need to yawn. I need to yawn after that. Release something. People yawn and burp. Some feel, some feel really itchy. Some people shake. Some go cold. Some go hot. Some go both. As energy shifts. Have some water. Not some. Your body will detox a lot as you release these. Okay. So let's just have a little Q&A to see how you guys are doing. All right. Who would like to share how they feel or how that felt, that experience? Wave at me. Joanna. Sorry. Where are we? Caroline. How you feel?
Well, there's a lot of yawning going on.
Yeah.
So, I assume that was a lot of shifting energy. I have to say I struggled a little bit breathing through my mouth because that's just not how I breathe. So that felt strange. But yeah, I definitely lots of yawning, and I definitely felt lots of shifts. I just, because I could feel it in my body, I just kept wanting to move and twist and turn and not be still. So that's how I felt it. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Yawning is just a lot of energy releasing. So,
Yeah.
okay. Because a lot
Lots
of
of
energy,
twitching.
yeah, lots of energy is used to hold the programs and be cleared. Then it gets freed up, so it comes out. And you may feel quite tired after this as well, because the body's fatigued from holding your programs on in place. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's normal. Melissa, how are you feeling?
I feel really good. I feel a lot lighter. I definitely felt a lot of tingling on my scalp and a lot of itching afterwards. My dog was sitting out with me, and he actually was like kind of very nervous, like walking around. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if he felt like things were kind of changing with me. But now he's calm and just sitting there. So
he's processing your stuff because you're his owner. And when you clear it out of you, you clear it out of him, which is why you got a bit twitchy. It's normal because he'll feel better as well.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's here with me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dog.
Maria, how are you feeling?
Great. My cat arrived all wet, soaking wet.
Yeah.
And for me, the best part was right at the very beginning. That first entity was sitting on my back, like the monkey carried their offspring. That's how the entity was attached. And as soon as you started the healing, it started looking around and shoo, off went.
Yeah, it's not going to like it. And we want to get rid of them.
Very disturbed. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of yawning.
Yeah. Okay. Misha, how you doing?
I definitely feel lighter. I felt little chills and tingling as well. I feel like a lot of weight has been lifted.
Yeah.
I feel a little more clear mentally.
Yeah.
And fatigued a little.
And you what? You broke up? It feels
a little tired. I feel a little tired.
Yeah, that's the fatigue from holding on to the wet stuff that let go. It's coming out the cells.
Yeah.
Okay. If you do enough of this, you'll get unstuck. It's just a build up of programs over the years.
Right.
That's what it is.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else want to share? Justin, do you want to share? Only if you want.
Yeah, hi. I could feel like some of the others tingles, hairs on my arms raising and energy around my head and I think upper body, like up the spine.
Yeah.
What else? Sorry. But also slightly distracted. The mind was a bit distracted. It was trying to pull me away. But at points where I was repeating the clearing, particularly in the middle, it felt quite powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Overall, it was very powerful.
Yeah. The ego does not want you to do this, which is why you get distracted. It'll throw all sorts of stuff at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay focused and present with it. Okay. And eventually,
yes,
you'll dissolve more and more layers of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Who else? Whoops. I just want to see. Mindy, do you want to share how that was? Only if you want to.
I was yawning a lot.
Yeah.
And my legs and stuff felt heavy for a while.
Yeah.
And I felt light afterwards.
Yeah.
I just caught myself yawning a lot right now too. So
yeah, that means it works. Yawning a lot and feeling tired is a good sign. It means something's left. Yeah. Okay, guys. So that's a feel. Or anyone else want to share in the attendee room, either by voice or by chat? No. Put your hand up if you do. No. That's fine. Okay. So that's a taste of divine healing. We're using the higher self. I'm just picking charts from the manual, which we can do in a group. But in the manual, we have, in level 1, we have 26 charts. It's about empowering yourself. Okay. So Amira, Shakira, and Mary who created it. We have 26 charts we use, and we just did a few of them. We did the following charts. We did interferences first. We'll block. These are guys blocking your connection to higher self, so preventing you from getting accurate answers. Then we did mainly a lot of frequency programs, which came up because you were focusing on your gift of service manifesting. We cleared past life, traumatic past life, not past life death in this case, so that you could be free of their influence. Then we did nutrition to integrate it all. That's what we did today. And I did an opening and a close, and I'll do a closing once we finish as well, which aligns you to the higher self. So the higher self knows about all these charts. So when you work on yourself with divine healing, or have someone work on you, basically it picks through the different charts to peel your ego onion in the right order. Okay. And so for those of you who've come because you're interested in the training, what we do is we spend 4 days doing just what we did now. I demonstrate the charts. If it's a simple chart, we do the whole group together. If it's a complex chart, I then pick one person, or you volunteer, and we demonstrate, explain the chart theory, demonstrate the chart, and everyone sees the shifts. And then you pick partners and you go off to a Zoom breakout room. It's a separate private space, digital space, if you're not familiar with breakout rooms. You go into that room for a fixed amount of time, however long I think it's going to take. You give and receive the treatments. So eventually we sort of move around the whole manual. We get all 26 charts done in 4 days. So you get a massive healing of some very powerful stuff like hidden agenda, subconscious ego agendas. These are things which really stop us from doing things. We're not aware of them until they come into consciousness. Things like sabotages, traumas, God consciousness, how we detach from Mother, Father, God, which has a big impact on the way we live our lives. We balance water up so we can connect with the emotions deep in ourselves. We have more frequency products like bark and berry flower essences without having to actually purchase them. We look at the biggest chart, which is key psychological complex. It's like key psychological reversals. The positive statement might be, I can love unconditionally, and the negative one is I cannot love, or I can only love conditionally. So deep hidden stuff which drives us crazy, as you know. We can get at all the stuff, a lot of it. This works in our subtle bodies. We can balance out my masculine and feminine, and there's sort of these little short command codes here. So that's what we do for 4 days, and when you come out squeaky clean, you come out really clear. I'm doing that. So you have a tool which you can use on yourself, that's self-empowering, and you can use it on others if you're wanting to put it into your spiritual practice. Okay, so that's what the level 1 training looks like, and the way it works is that, whoops, I must do that. The way it works is that where's it going? Here we go. The way it works is basically you work with whatever's coming up in the moment, and your higher self will have a plan in a one-on-one session or in the training to clear stuff in a very specific manner. So it's a very powerful and quick and profound way of dissolving your ego onion and reconnecting to higher consciousness, reconnecting to your visionary template so you can escape from the matrix. And the more you clear, the more that visionary template becomes available to you, so you can start to manifest your gift of service, your mission, your soul destiny. And so this thing, I learned this in 2006 when Mary, who channeled it with Rashan and Shakira, Shakira and Mary, because we wanted a tool that would clear our deep karmic stuff. It was really dark, some of the stuff we had. And so she developed it with the other 3, and they downloaded this from source. So it enabled us to go from being highly dysfunctional and disempowered to much more functional and empowered, so we can deliver our mission of service. So I did this for a good 18 months, 2 years, nearly every day once I learned this, and my life started to radically change because my onion was pretty thick. And so I went from struggling one-on-one client practitioner to having a global teaching business over that 25 years. So 25, what years do I hang? My hanging was 2006. 14, 17 years I've been using this. It's completely changed who I am, what I can actually deliver to the world. Because the ego sort of says, oh, these programs are permanent, you're never going to get rid of me. But actually, I discovered none of them are permanent, and you can get rid of them all. Just persist with this. It's your motivation to actually drive forward and create a better life for yourself. It's the fuel for the whole thing. It's the willingness and desire to do this. So vision and dreams can come true. Because you can actually emotionally laser cut fundamental underlying programming out. And you'll discover when you do this, you can actually you can completely forget what was there because it's so cleanly removed, as if it was never there. It's how powerful this thing is. And you can connect to your true essence, to your visionary template, create your mission, which is the most fulfilling thing. Experience a lot more love and joy, and create flow and mastery in your life. Mastery means you're in charge. You're a sovereign being. You're no longer a slave in the matrix with these sort of tools. So any questions on the processes or just the whole experience or comments? Carolyn?
Okay, yeah. So what I was interested in finding out is if you had somebody with you who you wanted to do this with, is that exactly you would sort of like get a chart out? How would you know which chart, firstly? And then secondly, do you get them to read it out themselves, or do you just like say it and then they repeat it and then they just go and they choose a number and then they choose another number? Is that how it works?
Not quite.
Yeah.
What happens is that you do what we call the opening sequence, where you align to the higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the higher self is going to guide you on which way to go.
Right.
So you must have aligned connection. You must clear the interference, which is what I did for you guys. So you have a clear connection. That's the most important thing. They must be able to feel your feelings, even a little bit, to be able to do this. Because if you can't feel, you can't heal. Okay, and then because you're aligned, your higher self, the higher self will tell you as the therapist, it'll just tell you which chart to start with.
Right.
You're the one connected to the higher consciousness. The other one with separation. So I may say, okay, we want to start with dehydration, so you can access the feeling in the body. Then we might do main low frequency program. Depends on what the issues are they bring to you on that in that moment. Okay. So you number map, just as you guys did there. It's pretty straightforward. You pick the numbers all the time. Client picks no numbers. They're just in an altered state lying down.
Okay. So we do that. We pick the numbers.
You pick the numbers and you say the command codes the majority of the time, except in situations where you're clearing a core program, like it could be a hidden ego agenda, is to, for example, to stay numb may come up. So therefore you have them, you repeat like I did with you guys, some of the command codes to release that hidden agenda to stay numb. And then you work with the client to come up with a restructure. I am feeling deeply into my entire being. So you go from numb to feeling. Because when someone can feel, they can progress much faster. So you then have them restructure. I command that I can now, I am now feeling at the deepest parts of the human and the physical. And that will go into them, but they need to say it because it's them reprogramming themselves. Okay, because they have an emotional hard disk. And the ego doesn't care what's on the disk as long as it's got something. So you just change out the programming. Okay. But most of the time, you're doing number mapping, you're doing the command codes, you're guiding them.
Okay. So you're doing it all whilst they're sort of lying down or sitting down.
Lying down, and they're being present and answering your questions and feeling. The main thing for them is to be grounded in feeling what's coming up.
Right. So they don't say anything. They don't say, I command, you do.
Most of the time, yeah. Unless it's a restructuring of a core program, then you have them say it. Because then once they've said it, the words are sound created. Once they've said it, they can't take it back. Universe says, universe will then obey, will do whatever they command. The more they believe it, the stronger the effect.
Okay. So you don't really need to do anything except connect and sit with them effectively, and then just take whatever information you're giving, and then read from that book what
Yep.
you know.
You mean
Is
as a
that it?
therapist or as a client?
As a therapist.
Well, you're doing a lot. You're holding the whole space.
Yeah.
Okay, you're guiding them. You're feeling. You're tuning in. You're listening to the higher self.
Mhm.
Just being present with the energy, and you're being in a no mind space where you just have a blank mind and you wait for the higher self. Then it will give you the next thing. So you don't
Okay.
have to figure this out. You just got to listen and be open, and it will come to you.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, because obviously what we were doing, it's not the same as what actually you would do. So that's why I was just clarifying whether or not you got them to say anything.
Well, I did get you to say stuff because in some cases, we would do exactly what we did.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to have the experience of the power of you commanding and creating a different reality.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Some of you guys are thinking of coming on the training. So, any other feedback or questions about that process? Maria.
Just have to share, because I've been on several of your divine healing sessions, but this one is turning into the most powerful one, because when you were explaining divine healing now at the end, I suddenly got that really deep knowing how I've been creating all those obstacles for myself to not start what really is most precious for me, working with soul contract and with other systems, because there's such a huge fear in me of being judged and criticized, which I was a lot as a child. And this stuff is so much me. One thing was teaching English. Another thing is working with something that's really so dear to you. It's like really me, 100%. I never had, I was suspecting it always, but I never had such a deep knowing before. And I've almost started crying, so I'm really feeling emotional about it. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, well, use the fear chart and clear fear of being judged or whatever fears are coming up. And then when that's out of the way, you'll be able to move forward and focus on what you want to create in your life in terms of a combination, not all the things that are wrong. Our ego always focuses on what's not right. It sticks its head in our emotional navel and keeps it there our entire life until we realize what it's doing. So switch it around and starve it of all the negative manifestation which it wants to create, and focus on what you do want to create, and then clear the stuff that comes up. As we were doing just now, because I had you focus on where you wanted to go, you guys. A lot of stuff comes up. If you keep clearing it, eventually you get unstuck and things move forward, but it takes time. If you chip away at this regularly, eventually the ego will dissolve with love and you'll be free in this escape from the matrix. It takes time. But what else are you going to do? Stay stuck or be miserable and stuck in the traps of the ego? Might as well sort it out. Life will incrementally get better. Melissa, it's like you want to say something there.
Yeah, I had a question about the nutrients and the minerals and the vitamins and the amino acids and all that.
Yeah.
So is that something then I should focus on, like maybe taking as a supplement, or how does that work?
You just need that frequency in that moment. You don't have to go off and
okay.
Don't waste money going buying it. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's the energetic component of the solid nutritional supplement. Okay, it's only if you need something long term or medium long term. Okay, that you do that. It can't completely replace them, but in this sort of thing, you just need it once. It saves you a lot of money and time.
I think that's so neat.
you get the frequency you want in that moment.
Okay, that's neat. Very cool.
Yeah. So just for you, seeing you said to me yesterday you're starting a new business with your husband. The limiting factor, the greatest risk factor in business is you and him, your emotional well-being. So if something gets stuck in the business, that means something's stuck emotionally in you. Obviously, you've got to run the business properly. But you guys sound like you're pretty experienced anyway. So the limitation is there for you guys. So when I used to get stuck with divine healing in business, I just do divine healing till the phone started ringing in those days, and then that would clear the block in the business.
Oh,
So
that's great.
the greatest investment in your business, or for all of you, is you. Okay, clearing you, because your business can only go as far as you can go. Okay.
Right.
It's
Yes,
not a separate
exactly.
entity. It's not a separate entity. You've probably seen that, haven't you, Melissa? You've seen where things get stuck and you realize it's us. Okay. Not what you thought. It's nothing external to you because you're creating your entire reality.
Right.
See? So the business is an external holographic. I mean, the holographic matrix I talked about is you, your energy fields, and the reality, the bubble around you you're creating in the matrix. Therefore,
Right.
it's one and the same thing. So shift something in you, that shifts something in the business. Business will trigger you. Say, oh, that got stuck. Clear me, that unsticks in the business. So this is the key, guys, if you're wanting to escape from the matrix. Clear yourself as you go. And that'll help you with an existing business, or help you start your own business if you're wanting to do that. Okay. They're not separate things. People think they're completely separate, but they're not. They must be completely aligned in this sort of spiritual business. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So, anyone else want to share how that was? Misha or Mindy? Or any questions on that? You have to unmute Misha if you want to talk. You still.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay. All right. Okay. So. You want to try this out. Last slide. So we run these 3 times a year. So the autumn training is running on the 6th to the 9th of October on Zoom. It runs 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. Okay, 7:30 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll run 5:30 a.m. Mountain, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. But people used to fly to England for this, but now they don't have to. So it's only 4 days, getting up a bit earlier. And 1:30 p.m. in Europe. Okay. And so the way it runs is that we do 4 1.5-hour sessions, approximately, depending on the length of the charts. 1.5-hour session. You have 20-minute breaks. And then on the third break, it'll be 1 hour for a meal break. So there's plenty of time to feed the doggy, Melissa. You know, if you have to scream at the kids or whatever else has to go on in family life. Okay. And we do that for 4 days. Okay. If you're thinking of coming, take the day off before if you can, and take at least 2 or 3 days off afterwards, because it's very strong and you'll need time to integrate. Okay. The total exchange is £571, about $660 US. The deposit, which is about a third, is £193 or $225 to secure your place. And it's equivalent to only about 5.5 hours of private sessions coming to the training. And the training will allow you to clear 80% of your issues. So it's a lot more cost effective. And the other 20%, you'll still need another practitioner, maybe someone in the class or more experienced when I can find them for you, to clear core ego constructs. Some things you can't clear yourself because you can't hold emotional space and clear really deep stuff sometimes, but you can get a lot of it. And the beauty of learning it yourself is that you can clear things in the moment whenever something comes up and I have to wait a week or 2 or more for a session. Okay, so it's very empowering when you realize I can change this in myself, which then affects my business, affects my whole life. And you can find out more at divinehealingtraining.com. There. And if you want some private sessions, check out Free Up Your Life with divinehealing.com. And you just register there if you want a private session, and we'll find you a practitioner to help you. I don't do the private sessions anymore. I'm mainly focused on training. Okay. Yeah. Any final questions on that? It's a fun training. You will be changed forever, and you'll meet a lovely community of like-minded people. So like a family, you meet lots of people in the class, and the classes tend to stick together. it's a very close bond because you get to know each other very well because you're giving and receiving treatments with everyone for 4 days. So you're going to know, they're going to know more about you than your mum does by the time you finish, because they would have gone deep with you into your stuff to clear it. Okay, so people are very supportive. It's a whole community thing we do here in the Centre for Conscious Ascension. Okay. And yeah, what else have we got on? For those of you who have businesses, we also have another workshop which we've just started called Marketing and Manifesting Your Business. These are 5th dimensional business principles that we use to grow these global businesses. We share that. But you have to be a practitioner to come on it. This is a baseline of knowledge you need to have, but that's what we do as well. So we basically give you the tools like soul contract and divine healing, which is the feminine flow, the feminine gift of service. Then we wrap around it enough masculine structure to actually take that and deliver it as a business into the world. We give you guys an introduction to it. But then we have some very experienced practitioners who can coach you and hold space for you from 18 months to 24 months to become what we call spiritual entrepreneurs, where you're consciously being of service with these tools, but you're running it as a business. So some of my other guys are very experienced at doing that and have a lot of success. So basically, we can take you, if you're trying to escape from corporate or the job you're in, first you learn the tools so you can use it on yourself, like soul contract and divine healing, and then we teach you how to turn that into a business with the programs we have. So it would take, it takes about 18 months to 24 months to change your mindset away from the way you've been programmed. That's from experience. But the guys who've done it have a lot of experience, a lot of training, and they can, the team can really help you do that if you really want to escape. So we only just introduced that because it's taken us a while to work out how to structure that so it works. But we seem to have got it figured out now. So there is a way out, people. We've got a very practical way if you're wanting to escape. But you got to put the work in. You got to be flexible. You're going to look at some dark stuff, but if you persist, you'll get there. Persistence is 99% of what it takes to come online as a light worker. Persistence, guts, and if you're prepared to do anything, whatever it takes, you'll get there. What happens is that people who are not prepared to look at their stuff, not prepared to persist and stay focused, they're the ones who don't make it. Okay? So it takes a lot to be a business owner, entrepreneur, but you got to look at it. It's either do that or it is stay in this job. And if a job's killing you, this is a pretty good option. So having been there myself. Okay. So, all right. Any final questions?
Yeah, just very quickly.
Carolyn, yeah.
Just occurred to me, if we do the training, do we need to do anything else like case studies or anything like that? Or can you just go out and put it with the soul contract work, or do you need to have done anything else?
With the divine healing training, we give you a certificate of attendance so you can get insurance. Okay. And we recommend that you practice with people in the class, get lots of experience in a safer environment, because by the end of the training, you know and trust each other very well. It's like a family forms. So you have a safe bubble, 5th dimensional bubble to practice in. Then you start practicing on friends and family. Then you start to practice on clients. You start paying you, and you gradually get out in the world. Okay. Soul contract, you get a certificate but only after 5 case studies. So when we mark them as part of the ongoing training and development, so we see that you know what you're doing. Okay.
And that's within the class with the soul contract. Is that within the class, or is that with people outside?
With soul contract,
the 5 people,
there has to be people who are not in the class. It has to be real clients. Okay. Where you have to deal with real people who've got real issues, because that's a true test of it. Yeah. It's not that hard. It's a little nerve-wracking at first, to be honest. Once you start doing it, you realize, actually, I'm in the flow of this, and you get your confidence. And we have support programs for both divine healing and soul contract to help you transition from the safe love bubble of the class out into the real world. Okay. So we use those run for 5 or 6 months. They're optional extras that are paid for. But people have asked for that. So we do that so you can transition you both in the therapy, but also with the business structure if you want it. So the ideas we've had is to build a whole turnkey. You enter at the beginning of it, and you end up, if you provided you do the work, you end up having a business.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you have to create it and do the work, but we have the people who can help you do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel and do it all by yourself, which is the default position for all light workers. If I can't figure it out or can't find someone who can teach me, I'll just do it all by myself. But you only get about 15-20% of your capacity, your potential realized. But if you do it in a team with experienced people, then you're going to make a much vaster difference.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty, no other questions? No, Melissa, I knew you'd have another one. So
I do have a question in regards to the marketing and manifesting. Is that more coaching, or is that something that you would take after learning the soul contract, decoded, and divine healing?
you need to have learned at least one of them, so you're in alignment with the energy flow, what we do, because it assumes you have enough knowledge of one of them, the structure, the way we work, otherwise you won't grasp it. Okay, so the next one I run will probably be in January after those 2 trainings, but we do have a video version of the training as well. For those who are in a hurry, you can buy the videos of the previous trainings, about 80% of the cost. So at least you get the principles. So in 2 days, I will cover all the core energy secrets of how we run this business, which has nothing to do with conventional corporate business, which is maximizing return on investment. We maximize return on raising of consciousness. So we show you energetically the secrets of how we run this business, okay, and how we run these sales funnels for these webinars, which are very successful. Okay, so it's a completely different set of business guidelines than you're used to in, say, 3D business. Obviously, 3D principles apply too, but we're taking it to another level. Okay.
Okay. And that's more coaching, or that's more training? That's like you're in a classroom with people during that time?
It is a transmission.
Oh, okay.
It's a transmission, and it is a training, and it's an only an introduction, which is what you can do in 2 days. It's an introduction to the key points. I'll put this link in the YouTube description. It's introduction to the key things that you need to be aware of, that you need to actually develop for a spiritual business. Okay.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and then we introduce you to so the rest of the team, who can then take you on the 18 to 24 month coaching program, which is the average time, depending on your availability, to actually turn it into a business, where someone will be with you the whole time.
Okay.
To turn it into a business. That's what that's the reality of what it takes. So this is taking it from being a hobby to actually being a serious business that pays the bills and makes a difference in the world. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any more, or we're done for today? Looks like we're done. Thanks, guys, for total engagement. Hope you enjoyed that. Video should be up in a few days.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Email me. You've got my email address. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.